We'll move on. The United Nations panel is expected to release its report on the 2009 Sri Lankan conflict very soon. The contents of the report were leaked last week, alleging that both the government and the rebel Tamil Tigers committed war crimes in the last months of the fighting. It accuses government forces of shelling civilians and hospitals in no-fire zones. The report also accuses rebel forces of using civilians as human shields. Tens of thousands of people died between January and May 2009 in the final government offensive. Well, let's talk to Surendran, spokesman for the Global Tamil Forum, joins me now from London. Both sides are accused of committing atrocities during the course of this conflict. Do you think that's a fair assessment?
Well, we haven't seen the official report as yet. Like you said, it hasn't been released as yet. From our perspective, we are saying from the leaked part of the reports that we have seen that the United Nations Secretary General should implement all of the recommendations without any exceptions. So we've been calling for an independent international investigation to be taking place in Sri Lanka to investigate both parties. These crimes, these massacre happened on United Nations Secretary General's watch. Now he's been given a great opportunity to put a lot of wrongs right. Here it is, and he must take the advice of this independent panel. These people are credible, qualified people who have been in the business for a long time. They have investigated Rwanda, they've been in the South African conflict, they've been in the Milosevic-Srebrenica massacre, so they have the right qualifications to investigate, and they have come up with a list of recommendations.
I know you're putting together a petition with
Secretary General,
trying to get hundreds of thousands of signatures calling for this independent panel. What kind of cooperation have you had from the Sri Lankan government, and in particular the reconciliation arm of the government?
You see, for any reconciliations to be sustainable, you need to have accountability, you need to have justice. Only when you serve justice you can have sustainable reconciliation. We are not against reconciliation. Sri Lanka keeps saying that the UN panel's report is invalid and it has no mandate and it discredits the United Nations itself. We, on the other hand, have been giving evidence to the United Nations panel, and we've been asking for independent international investigations into both sides. One must understand the state, Sri Lanka as a state, is a United Nations member. It has commitments, it has signed up to the United Nations conventions, Geneva conventions. It needs to obey by the international law. Now, one must be very aware that a state and a non-state player, here it is the state being Sri Lanka and non-state player being LTT, both need to be investigated.
But let me ask you this question, since we only have a limited amount of time for this interview. The statement's been issued by what's known as the Transitional Government for Tamil Elam. 2 years after the conflict ended, how united now is Sri Lanka? Or is there still one government in Colombo and another which represents the people of the north?
Well, it's not just representing the north. It's north and east are predominantly Tamil areas. Obviously, the reconciliation is not moving forward because people have lost thousands and thousands of relatives and friends. Tens of thousands of people died. Sri Lanka, on the other hand, was saying there were only 70,000 people in the no-fire zone. We've been vindicated that we've been saying there were 300,000 or more people in the no-fire zone. Sri Lanka restricted food for children and milk powder for children and medicine for ill and disabled and injured people. That is showing intent. It's actually showing intent of genocidal intent, basically.
Well, thank you very much indeed. I think the very fact that you refer to what's going on in Colombo as Sri Lanka as a separate entity to the area which you represent speaks volumes. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you for having me.